As promised, after quite a bit of research by playing the game myself and with help from a few of my Discord members, I can finally provide you with a video with everything you need to know about Scav Karma. Now, Scav Karma was added into the game with the 12.11 wipe, and with this, a brand new reputation level for the Fence Trader. This means there are two loyalty levels now, loyalty level 1 and the max loyalty level. And the Fence reputation is directly linked to your Scav Karma, meaning if you have 2.05 trader rep with Fence, then your Scav Karma will also be 2.05. But I can imagine for the majority of you this bit is self-explanatory. What you guys want to know is how to improve it and does it benefit you a great deal by leveling it. So I'm going to start this video by talking about all the different ways in which the Scav Karma / Fence reputation can be leveled within the game, and it can be done in various different ways related to both your player Scav and your PMC, and it really doesn't take very long to level if you get lucky. The first way, and personally the easiest way to level this reputation, is by taking the paid car extracts as a PMC. There are 3 maps with a vehicle extract, but they don't spawn every single raid. The first map is Woods, and this is in the expanded village area parked up by the bridge that leads over the water, and to be honest, every time that I've walked there on Woods it does seem to be there, so I can imagine the spawn rate for this car is extremely high. The second location is on the customs map, and more specifically outside the back of the 3-story dorms, and from my experience this wipe it seems to spawn every 1 in 3 raids. I make sure I double check it every time I'm in the customs map, but other than that it does seem to spawn quite frequently also. And lastly, there is a vehicle extract on the interchange map inside the boundaries of the power station in the back left corner of the shopping mall. This car does seem to spawn less often than the other 2, but in my experience I'm still able to get there and get out with this extract quite frequently. That being said, it is also my hardest extract to survive from due to the people camping the power station. Not so much the exfil, but the power station itself. I've had a couple of occasions where I've been spotted heading towards the car and I got popped from a nearby bush or on top of the roof of the power station itself. When using one of these extracts for the first time, you gain quite a large amount of reputation. I received a plus 0.25 reputation when extracting via a car for the first time. However, spamming these extracts will not net you the same amount of reputation. They start to diminish over time the more you extract with that car. So if you extract from the customs vehicle 5 times for example, then after the 5th time you'll be earning 0.03 rep rather than 0.25 rep. This doesn't carry over between maps though, so if you decide to then go over to the interchange map and extract using that car for the first time, you will once again gain 0.25 rep, and then they act individually from each other, and therefore it will slowly diminish over time as well. These do not refresh, so you will not be getting 0.25 rep ever again from extracting from a car extract from my knowledge, but that being said, I extracted from all of these extracts 6 times, and from doing this I earned almost 2 full reputation points, which is a large chunk of the reputation needed in order to level Fence, because you only need 6 rep in order to level Fence to that max loyalty level. But obviously there are other ways in which you can level Karma as well. Another easy way is by killing PMCs as your player Scav. This won't net you a massive amount of XP, but due to it being a pretty common thing to achieve, you will get 0.01 rep pretty frequently. And you can also get quite a bit of reputation by killing a hostile player Scav too. If you see a player Scav killing AI Scavs randomly, then you can serve some sweet justice and put them down for a reasonable 0.1 reputation, which this is also quite common, especially in the early game when people are scavving in specifically to look for their quest items like 3M armor or a TOS 106. Killing a bad player Scav will net you 0.1 rep, and doing that quite frequently will easily get you the reputation you need to level Fence quickly. There are a few situations that I can put myself in as a Scav to get myself PMC kills or naughty player Scav kills, and what I do is I just hang around a high value area like dorms on customs, the kibber store on interchange, or the lumberyard on Woods, just to name a few examples. And here you will usually find PMCs lurking around, especially if your Scav spawns towards the start of the raid, and not to mention large groups of Scav AI which usually roam these high value areas also. You'll be able to kill the PMCs quite easily from these locations as you have AI Scav to back you up, and also player Scavs will be heading to either the shots that you are creating or just to the Scavs in general to either kill them or to make friends. If they decide to kill one of your AI buddies, simply put them down quickly and you'll have a nice chunk of XP. You can also get a chance every now and then to protect a Scav boss by hanging around certain areas of maps, giving you more chances to see PMCs or to kill hostile player Scavs. Basically what you got to do here is play bodyguard, protect the AI scavs from anyone that tries to harm them, and therefore you will be getting some good scav karma in a return. And also you can use a joint PMC and player scav extract. They tested this out during the pre-wipe event, giving people tons of money in order to encourage people to use these joint extracts, but that being said, I've tried multiple times to extract on these locations on Interchange Reserve and Woods, but no matter how hard I tried, no one wanted to be friends. I'd either be killed straight away, or no one will come to this extract and I'll be left all alone. I do know, however, if you do extract successfully, you will get 0.2 reputation points for extracting at one of these extracts each time, and this does not diminish, so each time you extract you will get 0.2 rep. This is a really good incentive, and I think people should be more kind around these player scav and PMC joint extracts, because it benefits both parties really. So from here you can see there are quite a few ways of gaining this karma. That being said though, there are also quite a few ways of losing it too. Killing a scav or a player scav unprovoked will ruin your karma quite quickly, as each kill will lose you 0.05 reputation, and then when you kill one scav, all of the other scavs in the vicinity will turn hostile for you, so you're going to have to either die quickly or be forced to kill even more scavs, and therefore losing even more reputation at 0.05 karma at a time. It's not just normal scavs that will ruin your rep though. Killing a scav boss guard will ruin it even quicker by dropping you 0.07 karma each time you kill one, and then to step it up from that even further, if you go to kill an actual scav boss, which I know from my unfortunate experience when Killer hurt my feelings for telling him to follow me. You lose 0.5 reputation every time you kill a scav boss, which is the harshest drop out of everything, so whatever you do, just don't hurt them. So now we know what we should do in order to earn scav karma and what we have to do in order to avoid losing it all. So what does this reputation affect and why is it so important? Well, firstly, if you like running a scav, then the more rep or karma that you have, then the cooldown for the scav will be much shorter, to a maximum of 50% shorter than the default cooldown. Not to mention, if you upgrade your hideout enough to get the Intel Center level 1 and level 3, you'll be able to get an even shorter cooldown time, up to 85%, meaning that your scav will be available every 3 to 4 minutes, rather than the default 15 to 17 minutes. But that being said, if you have really bad scav reputation, then your scav cooldown will increase. People with really bad negative karma can wait up to 1 hour 30 minutes between scav runs, which is not fun if you choose to run them between your PMC runs. Another thing that changes based on your reputation and karma is the car extract fee. If you want it to be as cheap as possible, then simply get the highest karma possible, and the more karma you have, the cheaper it's going to be. If you have negative karma, however, the fee will increase, and it can increase quite drastically. Another important thing to note when you like running your scavs is your reputation also means how many extracts you'll have available on certain maps, and if you have a really low karma on a map like Interchange for example, you may only have one extract available. If you're lucky, it'll be one of the two main extracts, Railroad or Checkpoint, but I have seen it occur to people on the subreddit where they only had the joint PMC and player scav extract available, so it's really bad luck there, because not many people actually go to that one. I don't know whether that's meant to be the case or whether it's a bug though, so I thought I'd mention it anyway just to give you the heads up. Also, another major thing which occurs with reputation is that your player scav loadout will change depending on your karma level. If you have negative karma, then you're most likely to have poor quality weapons, usually pistols from my experience, small rigs, no body armor, and hardly any meds. And the lower your reputation is, the worse your gear is going to usually be, so just avoid that if you're going to play your player scav basically. I've found that with the neutral rep though, you will start to see better weapons occasionally, like the AK-74N and the VPOs, but again, this is quite rare. The main difference I've seen going from a negative standing to a neutral one in terms of your player scav's loadout is that it will more commonly spawn with at least some meds, whether that be a bandage or an AI2 and an S-match, which will stop a single heavy bleed. The better your reputation, the better your gear will be on your scav though. getting a really strong standing with fence will give you a much more common chance to have a decent weapon like a Remington 700, SVD or an AK/AKM with an optic. You'll also not see your scav without body armor and a helmet very often, so that's really good as well. Meds are plentiful and you'll feel much more like a PMC when going against other players in terms of the likeliness of gear and ammo. There are a few more things that get affected by the Scav Karma system, but honestly I don't think personally they're as important. I'm going to list them in a lot more brief terms for you so you can get the gist of it, but it won't make this video 25 minutes long. The first thing is the higher that your Scav Karma is, the more that you can sell things to fence for. Meaning that if you're one of those people that pick up a bunch of scav weapons in raid and they have really low durability and you can't sell them to any other trader but fence, then you'll now be able to get quite a bit more money from selling it to fence at a higher reputation level. The higher your Scav Karma, the more likely it is random AI scavs are going to help you, whether this be engaging targets or following you around the map protecting you. But there is also one cool new feature that I've seen scavs do, and that is they might tell you to follow them instead of you telling them to follow you. And if they tell you to follow them, make sure you do, because they'll lead you to a weapon box or a hidden stash and point out high value loot to you. And finally, scav bosses are much more chill around you when you have a high reputation as a player scav. So you can walk around them, they won't engage you on sight like they used to, and you can just chill around them and just have a nice time. That'll allow you to protect them a lot easier and therefore increase your standing even more. Just don't tell Killer to follow you. That's all I'm gonna say. As I mentioned earlier, he didn't like that and he bummed me for it. If you've been a really good player scav by doing everything that I've mentioned in order to increase your Scav Karma and you haven't done anything to reduce it, then eventually you would have unlocked the max trader level with fence by getting at least 6 in scav reputation. And then you will be able to do something really special, and this is purchase uninsured weapons that PMCs have left on the battlefield. And these are actual weapons that PMCs have taken into raid and died with but forgot to insure them so they won't get them back. You're much more likely to see modified weapons and higher tier armors from this fence trader level, especially if you haven't got the other traders unlocked to a high standing, meaning that you can't buy higher tier armors or better modifications for your weapons from other traders. This will give you a great opportunity to get a great loadout ready for a PMC raid without having to level your PMC too much, and this will be more than capable of taking into raid and destroying everyone you come across. The restock for this seems to be just over an hour, so depending on what got lost through the uninsured items, you should have plenty of options from fence to purchase if you do want to. So in summary then, be the best scav that you can possibly be by defending all of your fellow player scavs when they get shot at, as you'll be getting a ton of easy reputation from doing this. Always bring money in your secure containers if you're choosing to run maps with a vehicle extract. This will also net you a large amount of reputation simply by finishing your PMC raids. And then finally, hang around scav bosses or high value areas in order to maximize the amount of hostile traffic coming your way. Thank you to everyone in my Discord that helped me gather the information for this video. It does really mean a lot, and I'm sorry it took longer than expected to get this video out. But also, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and comment for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you haven't already for future Escape from Tarkov content. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.